Today's video is how I cope with going to the doctors all the time. Welcome back to my channel if you're new here. My name is Madison and I'm 23 and I'm chronically ill, but I'm also a social media marketing major and I do a lot of vlogs, and I also do some informational videos on my chronic illnesses. If you are interested to know what I've been diagnosed with, I have it in my description box, all of the stuff. And then I'm very excited to do this video because this one was actually requested, and I do go to a lot of doctor's appointments since I have multiple illnesses, and I've kind of figured out some ways. I don't want to say to make them fun because doctor's appointments are never fun, but to kind of make it a little bit easier to get through the day. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it. The first thing that I do is sometimes I almost try to trick myself into thinking it's like a self-care time for me, like a me time, especially if I'm going by myself. I'll bring a book or I'll bring my AirPods and I'll watch YouTube or a movie, or I'll read a book that I've been wanting to finish that I haven't had time to read, and it really makes the time go by faster. And I used to, when I used to work, I would like bring a book to work and stuff, and it actually made work fun, so that's where I kind of came up with this of that at least if I'm going to a doctor's appointment, I'm getting to do something that I really like. But you know, you might not like to read, but if you like to color or I don't know, journal, anything like that, any type of like self-care thing that you can bring along with you, it's really helpful in my opinion, and it just makes the time go by faster. My second thing is I sometimes will, my dog wants to come in, hold on. I will sometimes give myself like a reward either before or after. I personally really love Diet Coke, so I will be like, if like I can get a Diet Coke either before or after my appointment or something, and it just makes it a little bit more exciting because I love Diet Coke and it gives me something to look forward to. Or sometimes, like, I don't know, like if I want to buy something that's decently cheap because I don't have a lot of money, but I'll be like, oh, like I can go to TJ Maxx after this and buy something or whatever, and it just kind of makes it easier to want to get out of the house to go to it, kind of giving that like incentive. My third thing, if it's possible, bring somebody with you. I mean, there's nothing better than having company at something boring. My mom goes with me to a lot of my doctor's appointments, and I know this isn't possible for everybody, but when she goes with me, it just makes everything go by faster. And I love having her there with me, and also just like the moral support of it, because you just never know what kind of news that you're going to get at the doctor's office, especially if you're in the middle of testing. And if you know that you're probably getting a diagnosis, I always recommend bringing somebody, because sometimes it can be really hard. Even if you know you're probably going to get the diagnosis, actually hearing it makes it very real, and it can be very scary, and also sometimes you're in shock and you can't think of all the questions that you want to ask, and having somebody else there is very helpful. And also if you're young, I say young, like I'm 23, having my mom there to help advocate for me really is helpful, because sometimes they don't take me seriously even though they know that I have issues because I'm so young. It's a problem that I've had for a very long time, since I did start getting sick at 17, and it's always been really helpful to have somebody advocate for me, and also just pick up the slack if I feel like I'm in a little bit of shock or I'm just not feeling well and I can't really think, because I get really bad brain fog. But also just in general, it just helps to have company and it makes it go by faster. And me and my mom are always talking or something while we're waiting, or showing each other stuff on our phones and stuff, and it just makes it go by a lot faster. And sometimes my dad goes with me, which is also really helpful, but it's usually my mom, because my dad does work a full-time job, but majority of the time I do have somebody going with me, and I've always found that helpful. And the last thing that I try to do is stack my appointments. Either I stack them in one day if possible, like especially if I travel up to Atlanta a lot. I live in Georgia and I travel to Atlanta because I live in a decently small town, and so I will try to stack my appointments for one day, like one in the morning, one in the afternoon, making sure I have enough time to get between them, or I will stack my appointments in like 1 week, so then I kind of know like this week is all about doctor's appointments, but the other 3 weeks either I don't have any or I only have like 1 or something. I am in physical therapy, so I go every week for that, but other doctor's appointments, I try to kind of put them all in 1 week, and that's always really helpful because I can just be like, okay, this is like a designated day or week to going, and I kind of get in that mindset, and then I know once this week or day is over, then I'm done with that. But I also know that's not always possible for everybody, but it's one thing that I just personally try to do, especially if my doctor's appointments are in town. It makes it so much easier, and it just kind of like, you're like, once I get through this, I'm done, we're good, and it makes, I feel like it's like you're getting all the not fun stuff done all at one time instead of having like something you're dreading each week or each day. You can just dread 1 day or 1 week. Alright friends, that is all I have for this video. I know it was extremely short, but I just felt like they were simple tips, so there wasn't like too much to elaborate on. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and if you have any other videos that you want me to make, put them in the comments below, because I always love doing videos y'all want to see, and I will see you in my next video. Bye friends.